coming up on this edition of Southwest TV News. As Swift Current prepares to host the 2019 Western Canada Summer Games in August, another sponsor has been added to the list. Finning Canada recently came on board as a gold sponsor for the triathlon event. Daffodils are in the spotlight, representing a sense of hope and renewal, and part of the Canadian Cancer Society's major fundraising campaign for the year. Mold and other allergens are in abundance this time of the year and will increase in the coming months as the trees start to bloom for another season, with health experts offering the following advice. Thanks for joining us here today. Another major sponsor has come on board for the 2019 Western Canada Summer Games in Swift Current. We have more in today's top story. As Swift Current prepares to host the 2019 Western Canada Summer Games in August, another sponsor has been added to the list. Finning Canada recently came on board as a gold sponsor for the triathlon event, a commitment to the Games, which this national company is pleased to support.
Well, Finning has a long-standing reputation where they have branches to be part of the community, and we invest in the communities we work in. We believe in working with our customers and the communities and developing a better community and a better place for everybody to live. So it's important for us to participate in events like this for the kids of the community and also for the unity and diversity of the community.
Financial support from Finning, which is welcomed by the local Games Committee, as the City of Swift Current needs to raise a specific amount in order to host the Games, all in addition to the $1.5 million commitment from the province of Saskatchewan.
From a percentage base, I think we're about 70-75% the way there. So we're excited about that. I think, we got together about 6 months ago. We were not at that level. So things have really happened in, I'd say, the fourth quarter of 2018. And now the first quarter here of 2019, we've really brought some more sponsorship on board. And I think it's, by the next 141 days, we'll get to our target and be able to put on a successful Games. I think we're just under 600,000 of actual cash dollars raised, and then we have some in-kind sponsorships happening too, where somebody might not be donating cash directly, but they're donating a certain property that is allowing the Games to use over the 10 days. So I think that value is around 150 or 175 last check. So, if you put those two numbers together, that's about 750,000, $900,000 million target. We're getting very close.
The 2019 Western Canada Summer Games are set for August 8th through the 19th, with 1,700 athletes and coaches participating in 16 sports. The annual Daffodil campaign is underway for the Canadian Cancer Society. And in this report, we find out how it benefits patients across the province. The Canadian Cancer Society is busy year-round raising awareness and funds for cancer research and other programming. And during the month of April, daffodils are in the spotlight, representing a sense of hope and renewal, and part of the Canadian Cancer Society's major fundraising campaign for the year.
And funds have been used to increase the survival rate from 25% in the 1940s to over 60% today. So, that's pretty exciting, and we thank those people that have ordered flowers, the businesses and the individuals that have ordered flowers in the past and even this year.
Ziegler goes on to add that the Daffodil campaign and other fundraisers throughout the year benefit cancer patients and their families, as cancer rates continue to increase across the country.
It's expected to raise by 40%, so 40% increase in incidence of cancer by 2030, and which increases the demand for more research and more services. So now more than ever, we really need generous support of our donors.
More information on the annual Daffodil campaign, healthy lifestyle choices, and cancer in general can all be found online.
My name's Ward Shell. I'm a visual artist from Moose Jaw. I paint acrylic on canvas generally, but I also love to draw, and I'm represented by the Slate Gallery in Regina. I work in acrylic on canvas. What I love about acrylics, it was a hard thing to get used to because I started off in oils, and it has that beautiful luxury of that nice paste, a beautiful buttery sort of quality to it. And acrylics doesn't have that. Not quite the same anyway. You can put things into it to make it work better. But what I like about acrylics is that I can thin it out, layer it transparencies over transparencies to achieve a color that I can't even really predict what's going to happen. And it dries quickly, so I can keep layering and layering and layering fairly quickly on it. I don't use a lot of white in my paint, so I sort of plan my road and see how it works. Almost like watercolor, I work light to dark in some cases, and not all the time. It really depends on what the image, how it speaks, and how I want to tackle it. It's not always the same. The last few years, I've been doing a lot of forest interiors. I had a big solo show a few years ago in Moose Jaw, and it was all dedicated to Fairy Island, which is where this painting's from, which is where Ernest Lindner had his studio and cabin for many years. And I was teaching up at Emma Lake for several summers in a row and took my students there. I'd always heard about Fairy Island, and of course Ernest Lindner was a huge influence in the early days, but I'd never been there before. So when I went to the Fairy Island with my students, it cast its spell, and I needed to do something. It was one of those things where I didn't know if I should or could, because out of respect for somebody else who had spent their whole career there and done their whole body of work there. Someone told me it was the 75th year anniversary of Ernest building his cabin. I thought, well, that's an excuse to do an homage to him. So I started back into forest interior and have been doing that. There's just so much work I want to do, want to complete, and a lot of it involves it. It's not all there. I go to BC to see my family, and then I wander around the woods and the mountains there too for influence. But I'm just as happy doing prairie landscapes that have no horizon line, which is odd for the prairies. I focus down on the ground and find the textures and the shapes and the colors down there mesmerizing and fascinating. And that's what I continue to look for. For the last 30-some years, I've focused quite clearly on real close-ups of landscape without looking at the horizon. Although you do see a little bit of horizon on this painting, it's very rare that I put that in. As a matter of fact, I debated whether I should do this painting at all because of that. But I just love the way the oddness of the land. There was always a discussed divide between Saskatoon and Regina in two schools. The abstract school of Saskatoon and Regina was quite different faculty and different perspective of work. And that, I didn't really understand it. I always thought the art world was the art world and we're all family, but there was this divide. And it's, you know, this weird dichotomy, and most places have rivalries with sports things. There just seemed to be something there. And we all knew each other, knew names, you know, it's respect from top to bottom, but we hardly got together. I mean, it's very rare that we all got together in one place. Now our work is in the same building together, and it was like a family reunion with a family you hadn't really spent a lot of time with. It was a great atmosphere in here because of that, and it kind of lifts the barriers.
Allergies are common for many, and health officials have a few tips to help get you through allergy season. Mold and other allergens are in abundance this time of the year and will increase in the coming months as the trees start to bloom for another season. And depending on the types of symptoms you suffer from, allergies can range in degree on a daily basis, with health experts offering the following advice.
So in the outdoors, certainly when we get into the warmer weather, a lot of what we call allergens or particles that could have caused allergy are kept under the snow or very much to the ground. But as the weather warms up, we get certainly a lot more dusts being flared up, and we're also walking a lot more out there and into grass and stuff like that. So certainly people who are prone to allergies will experience more allergies as the weather warms up. The other side of the coin is indoors. It's really important to do a good, carpet cleaning, because a lot of those carpets can harbor things like mites, which also promote further allergies. And same with any compounds that are causing allergies from the outside will be easily brought indoors now, with a lot more of that openness of allergies on the ground.
You can also take further steps in your home by using a vacuum with a HEPA filter and frequently changing furnace or air conditioning filters. And along with taking over-the-counter medications to help you deal with your allergies, there's a few other steps to keep in mind.
It's hard to minimize your time outside, but remember that when you are outside and you come back inside, you are carrying some of those allergy stimulants not only on your body but on your clothing. So it may be wise when you come in to have those clothes washed so that you can get those products off, and also for you to take a good shower so that you take the products off, especially when the pollen starts going around. A lot of people will have it in the hair and not even realize it, and so when they go to sleep, they are breathing in again the same products because it's right there in their hair.
More information on dealing with allergies are available through your local pharmacist or your physician's office. Well, this brings to a close another episode of Southwest TV News, reporting the stories that matter to you. We always welcome your news tips. You can always reach us here by phone at our studio or by email to contact us at southwesttvnews.com. Also, be sure to join us daily online for the latest news from across Southwest Saskatchewan and so much more at southwesttvnews.com. And be sure to follow us on a range of social media. Thanks for joining us here today. I'm Carol Andrews.